The 10 creepiest cults and religious practices. Real crucifixion in the Philippines. Every year on Good Friday in San Juan in the Philippines, people will participate in a crucifixion ritual that simulates what Christ himself went through thousands of years ago. But this is much more than a performance. The participants are actually beaten and have nails driven into their palms and feet. These people participate as an act of showing their faith. What is even more creepy is that despite the community's efforts to keep the event solemn, there are still street vendors selling food and merchandise, making suffering and pain a family event. Baby tossing. Each year in the Indian state of Karnataka, people participate in a barbaric ritual where priests will shake babies and toss them from a balcony that is 30 feet high. The ritual is meant to bring the babies wealth, health, and prosperity, with hundreds of people participating. The tots are caught in a blanket by the ground where they are passed around the group before being returned to their mothers. Children's rights groups have criticized the age-old tradition practiced by both Hindus and Muslims, but this creepy ritual still continues today. Exorcisms. The topic of exorcism has been a question of debate for centuries. Going on the premise that people can be possessed by demons, various churches from Catholic to temple rituals believe that demons can be exorcised using a variety of prayers and commands. The person possessed will go through physical and mental changes during the process of an exorcism that's nearly violent. But if it is all mental illness, then the people who are going through exorcisms are not getting the proper treatment for their condition, thus enabling the bad behavior because it can be blamed on a demon. The Manson family. Charles Manson has become immortal thanks to his family, which was a religious cult and commune in the 1960s. Manson preached about a race war called Helter Skelter, which would bring about the end of the world. In order to stop this, Manson got his family members to carry out grisly murders so they could be blamed on black people. One of such murders took the life of Sharon Tate and her unborn baby, who at the time was married to celebrity director Roman Polanski. Today, the Manson family is currently serving sentences behind bars, and many of the members still regard Charles as a god or messiah. People's Temple. In 1955, Jim Jones founded the People's Temple Agricultural Project that preached a socialist way of living. There were over 20 compounds, one of them being in the country of Guyana named Jonestown. Over 1,000 people lived on the compound. A congressman named Leo Ryan came to the compound to investigate abuse allegations from concerned family members. While he was there, numerous members told Ryan they wanted to leave. On November 17, 1978, as Ryan and a group were at the local airport, temple security guards opened fire on the group, killing them all. On November 18th, Jones ordered his congregation to drink grape Kool-Aid laced with cyanide. About 918 people died, including 276 children. Digambara. There are two different sects of the religion Jainism, which is an ancient religion from India that advocates the practice of renunciation and being harmless in order to achieve bliss and liberation. Following the practice of Lord Mahavira, members of this sect don't wear any clothes, but they don't consider themselves to be naked because they are wearing the environment. Followers of Digambara believe that wearing clothes gives the body demand for privacy and comfort, which goes against the demand for only owning two possessions, a peacock feather and a water gourd. Spiritualism. Spiritualism is the belief and practice of communicating with the dead through a medium. While there are roots of spiritualism found in the late 1700s, the religion exploded in popularity in the mid-1800s post-Revolutionary War. Spiritualism was responsible for the boom in seances and public shows in the Victorian era, which inspired Harry Houdini to go on his crusade of exposing fraudulent mediums through his magic acts. One of the rituals that sent shivers down everyone's spine was when the medium went into trances from the seances. The female mediums would change their voices to sound more masculine, start speaking a foreign language, or start writing in a fashion that didn't look like their regular handwriting. Haitian Voodoo. The religion of Voodoo actually has a lot of similarities to the Catholic Church, where numerous spirits are worshipped. It is believed over time that the spirits, called Loa, became weaker and need to be rejuvenated by humans. By sacrificing chickens and goats, the Loa can be nourished and rejuvenated, as well as possess the person performing the sacrifice. Once possessed, the spirit can give advice and warnings, as well as to predict the future. Sometimes these possessions result in convulsions and seizures. LaVeyan Satanism. As opposed to popular belief, there is a branch of Satanism that has nothing to do with devil worship. In 1966, Anton LaVey founded the Church of Satan and wrote the Satanic Bible. The premise behind the religion is LaVey's system of understanding of human nature and the beliefs of philosophers who were advocates of individualism and materialism. In simpler terms, it means that you're worshiping yourself as a god and going the opposite of the golden rule and biblical teachings. There is one ritual that is extremely creepy because it is dedicated to the destruction of one's enemy. It involves sticking pins in a doll and writing and drawing your enemy's destruction, conjuring up feelings of hatred and depicting in great detail a soliloquy describing the annihilation and destruction of your enemy. Heaven's Gate. Heaven's Gate was a UFO Christian cult founded in the 1970s by Marshall Applewhite. In 1997, Applewhite said there was a UFO on the tail of the comet Hale-Bopp, and that his church had to commit suicide in order to release their souls from their bodies in order to board the UFO. On March 26, 1997, 38 members of the Heaven's Gate cult committed suicide. Marshall Applewhite's video of himself talking about the mass suicide remains viral today.
I don't know what there is, but there's something in my head.